Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Salakaya. Chakkhurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale. Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sopadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Nirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Siragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Litam Sri Visakham Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrivasya Kurpa Sindhuveva Chapatitanam Bhavanabhya Vaishnavabhya Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Uddhava Gita series. Now we are discussing about the prelude of Uddhava Gita. In the last session we have discussed about the courses, the course on the on Yadu dynasty, the first chapter of 11th canto. So we have learned a very nice things how Vishwanath Chakravarti is explained this region, why the there is a cause, why the destruction of Yadu dynasty, although the Yadu dynasty is a family of Krishna and very powerful, very influential. Why Krishna wanted to destroy actually. So we have already learned that. Now we are going to also there are so many different angles also we have discussed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how he said that if you offend a devotees, pure devotees, then Krishna also will not be happy and will not protect. So how the Sambhav and all the boys of Jadu dynasty, they have offended the sages like Nārada Muni and all. So as a result, there is a consequence is very grave and gargantuan, and whole Yadu dynasty has been destroyed. Also, there is so many other points Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has described in this regard, that how how this sometimes Mayavadi's philosopher, they compare Krishna and themselves as a one. So that kind of misconception, to remove that kind of misconception that family of Krishna and Krishna is the same. So this kind of pastime has been enacted to teach people that Krishna is the sovereign, supreme. Nobody can be equal and above, even his Krishna's own family. So there are so many angles. We should study this one and discuss all the things. Otherwise, people do not know why there is a course on the Jadu dynasty. Parikshit Maharaj, very intelligent devotee, he put forward this question to Sukadev Goswami, and Sukadev Goswami explained. So now today we are going to discuss about the very important subject matter, that is the king of Videha Nimi meets Yogendra. And this subject, this particular chapter says so many wonderful verses about bhāgavata-dharma, because Nimi Maharaj asked what is the prime duty of living entities, so that living entity can get out from this material existence. So, and to answer this, actually Yogendra, this 9th son of Rishabhadev, and Kavi and Havi, so they have answered very nicely the importance of bhāgavata-dharma. And also there are 3 kinds of devotees: the pure devotees, and second class devotee, first class devotee, and third class devotee. So let us start with this beautiful subject, Mahārāja Nimi meets the 9 Yogendras. So let us go for a summary first. In this chapter, Narada gives instruction in Bhagavad Dharma to faithful, inquisitive Vasudeva by recounting the conversation between Mahārāja Nimi and the Nine Yogendras. Greatly eager to see Lord Krishna, Devoshi Narada resided almost exclusively in Dwaraka. Actually, Nārada Muni was caused by Dakya. He cannot stay in one place for a long time. But it's very nice purport has been given that if anybody stays in Dwaraka, Mathura and Vrindavan like Jagannath Puri, so the so-called curse will not be applied. It will be nullified. It will lose its potency, insignificant. It lose its significance. So therefore, Nārada Muni, who desires to be stay in Dwaraka, he could stay, although he was cursed not to stay for a long time. So bewildered by the Lord's illusory potency, had previously offered worship the Supreme Lord Ananta for the purpose of getting a son, but has failed to worship him for liberation. Here Vasudeva is conversing with Nārada Muni. Vasudeva said that previously when he was Sutapa, Prajapati Sutapa and wife called Prishni, Vasudeva and Devaki in previous life, they were Sutapa and Prishni, they underwent so many very austere, very penances, very, difficult penances to get a son, like Supreme Lord. So Lord Krishna say, nobody can be equal and greater, so I will be your son. So therefore Krishna has appeared in the womb of the Devaki and become the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. But Vasudeva realized that I made a mistake. Instead of asking for the liberation or go back to Godhead, I asked Krishna to become my son. So therefore Prabhupada has given very nice example, purport somewhere else, that one should not pray to Krishna to come down to the earth and become my son. Rather, one should pray to go back to Godhead. Of course, the pure devotee, even they do not want to go back to Godhead, but Prabhupada say in general, one should pray for that. Not that, no, you become my son, you come to my house, you should not do that. Therefore, the Vasudeva is lamenting. Once Narada arrived at home of Vasudeva, who worshipped him according to proper etiquette, greeted him respectfully, requested to hear about pure devotional service, which frees oneself for all kind of fear. So that is the first thing. Fear immediately stopped. Klesagni, all our klesa, anxiety, fear, it will be stopped. As soon as devotional service, one is performing devotional service, the fear will be stopped. Narada praised Vasudeva's fixed intelligence, then related the ancient history of conversation between Nine Yogendras, and who were son of Lord Rishabhdev and Nimi, the king of Videha. So, in order to answer the question about devotional service, bhāgavata-dharma, by Vasudeva to Narada, Narada is now giving an example, recounting the conversation between Nimi and Mahārāja Nimi and Nine Yogendras. So this is the one ancient history. So this is the way of disciplic succession. Nārada Muni is presenting ancient history. That same question was asked by King of Videha, Nimi Maharaj, to Nine Yogendras. Here it is said that Swayambhavu Manu's son was Priyavarta, his son was Agnidhar, whose son was Navi. So Brahma's son is called Swayambhavu Manus. And Swayambhavu Manu's son is Priyavarta. Priyavarta's son is Agnidhar. And his son is Navi. And Navi's son is Rishabhdev. Actually, Rishabhdev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The incarnation, plenary portion of Vasudeva. Vasudeva means Krishna, incarnated as son of Navi. The oldest of Rishabhdev 100 son was Bharat, an exalted devotee of Narayana, by whose name this earth previously called Ajnava became famous as Bharat Varsha. So this Rishabhdev has got 100 sons. Out of 100 sons, the eldest son is called Bharat. By his name, he was so illustrious, so dutiful, so saintly king, so glorious king, that by his name, the Bharatavarsha, India, we say India. Of course, India is now, Bharat means entire Bharat. So entire Bharatvarsha, entire island was called Bharat according to his name. Previously it was called Ajanav Varsa. Ajanav means there is another king called Ajanav Varsa. But after Bharat Maharaj ruled, it became Bharat Varsa. 9 other sons received, they were widely known as Nine Yogendras: Kavi, Havis, Antarikya, Prabuddha, Pipalayana, Avirotthato, Dhumila, Chamasa, Karabhajana. They were all versed in knowledge of the self, fixed in their goal, and always striving for perfection. So these 9 sons, they were like Kumaras. They were always go it's naked. They are completely renounced, full of knowledge, and propagating or preaching Krishna consciousness to everywhere. 9 other sons of Rishabdev took on the duty of Kshatriya and become the master of 9 Deepa comprising Bharatvarsha. So then Navadip, 9 Deepas are there, and the 9 sons of Rishabdev become the king of one because they were Kshatriyas. His other 81 sons become Brahmana, expert in Smriti doctrine, who propagated the path of fruitive sacrifice. So there is Bharat Maharaj is the one son. 81 sons are Smriti, all these Smriti Brahmanas, Smrata Brahmana, and 9 is Navajogendra. 9 is the great sage Navajogendra, and 9 other sons, who is Kshatriya, they ruled the 9 island of the Bharatvarsha. The 9 Yogendra, free to move without impediments, traveled everywhere as they wished. They were direct associate of Supreme Personality of Godhead Madhusudan, wandered freely to give protection to the various planets in the universe. The human body can be lost any moment, but it is still very rare to attainment. Still rather is to get the association of confidential devotee of the Lord Vaikuntha while in the very human body. So it is said that Nimi Maharaj very nicely said, we will go to this verse, that he said that Dullava Manusya Deham Tatrapi Dullava Vaikuntha Priyadarshana. The human body, to get a human form of body, is very, very difficult. Labda Sudullavam Idam Bahusambhamate. After many life of transmigration of the soul, almost I was calculating the average species of all these 8 millions reptiles, marine life, aquatics and all. Actually, it takes 3 millions of years to get a human form of body. 3 trillions actually, 3 trillions of years to get a human body. So human body, to get a human body is very rare, and moreover, to see a pure devotee is more rare than that. Association of such saintly person, even for a fraction of a second, bestow all benefit on a living being. So associating with a pure devotee means even a moment association gives all perfection. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, sadhu sanga sarva shastra kahe, lavamatra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi. Therefore King Nimi offered 9 Yogendra suitable seats, worshipped them, humbled himself with obeisances, joyfully inquired from them about bhāgavata-dharma. Bhāgavata-dharma means Krishna consciousness, Sanatana Dharma. Krishna also said that dharma sanstapanarthaya. What kind of dharma? This bhāgavata-dharma sanstapanarthaya, not the cheating dharma. Therefore he said, sarva dharman parityāga. Kicked out all cheating religion. But bhāgavata-dharma, keep it, because his mission to establish bhāgavata-dharma. Bhāgavata-dharma means sarva dharman parityāga mam ekam saranam braja. Is only means of ultimate good fortune for the soul. Only Bhāgavata-dharma is the only means for the good fortune. Anybody want to be fortunate, they should adopt this process of Bhāgavata-dharma. The Supreme Lord, being pleased by such service, offer his own self to the devotee. There are beautiful verses. Bhāgavata-dharma is such beauty, the unique, so potent, so glorious, so magnificent that even the Lord himself offers his own self to the devotees. That is Bhāgavata-dharma, or Krishna consciousness, or bhakti, devotional service. In answer to the king question, one of the 9 Yogendra Kavi spoke as follows: those means of advancement which are described by the personality of Godhead himself, which enable even foolish person easily achieve the perfect self-realization, are called Bhāgavata-dharma. Even a foolish person, he doesn't need to be big, 4-headed Brahma. knows so many Vedas. No. Anybody, even a foolish person, he adopt this process, he can become self-realized and go back to Godhead. This bhāgavata-dharma manifested as a service to the lotus feet of the infallible Supreme Lord, eradicates all fear for the living entity. By abiding in the bhāgavata-dharma, one will never stumble or fall, even while running with both eyes closed. See, very important things. Even a person abiding in bhāgavata-dharma or practicing bhāgavata-dharma, he will never stumble and fall, even while running with both eyes closed. Even blindly somebody follow without even understanding the technicalities of bhāgavata-dharma. One easily can. There is no loss, he will never fall. Tan manya adhita uttamam. Prahlad Maharaj say, na sravanam kirtanam Vishnu smaranam archanam pada sevanam archanam bandanam sakhyam atmanivedanam iti punsarpita Vishnu bhakti chena navalakyana tan manya adhita uttamam. Kriyate bhagavata tan manya adhita uttamam. This is the best thing. 9 process of devotional service. One will never fall, stumble. Whatever one does with body, mind, words, intelligence, consciousness, senses, and natural proclivity should all be offered to Lord Nārada. The beautiful verses in this regard. Narayanam samarpitam. Everything should be offered to the Lord. Living entity averse to the Lord's lotus feet come under the control of the Lord's illusory energy Maya. They forget the Lord's identity and trapped by the illusion are trapped by the illusion of identifying with temporary body. On the sway of material attraction, they become greatly fearful. Thus, the best thing of them to surrender their very life and energy to qualified guru, execute the worship of Supreme Lord, absolute controller of Maya with pure devotion. Very, very important. Because we have thrown away Vasudeva Paranmukta, Krishna's Daivat, Krishna Vimukhasya Daivat, Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Daivat, Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Daivat. We have turned away from the Krishna, Vasudevan Paranmukha. As a result, we are suffering, we are rotating continuously in the cycle of birth and death. We are controlled by the Maya, entrapped in this Maya, pathetically. So, only way to get out, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that Mama Maya Durataya. My Maya is Daiva Isa Guna Maya Mama Maya Durataya. My Maya is very, very difficult, insurmountable, very difficult to get out. To get out means release from this Maya, clutches of Maya. So therefore, only solution to that, Mam evasya prapandyante mayam etam tarantite. To get out from the clutches of Maya, one should surrender to Krishna. That is called bhāgavata-dharma. Just as by eating one gradually appeases his hunger and with every bite feel more and more satisfied and nourished, surrendered devotee achieve detachment from all object other than Krishna, gain direct personal experience of the Lord, releases the pure love for Lord, all simultaneously. It's very nice verse, 11 to 42. It is say that bhakti paresanubhava virakti ranyata. Prabhupada used to quote this verse many times. What is the bhakti? The symptoms of bhakti means we should detach any object other than Krishna and related to Krishna. That is called bhakti. Just like we are eating means we are getting nourishment, also our hunger is diminishing in every morsel. So simultaneously we are doing bhakti, practicing bhakti, slowly all our material hankerings will go away, diminish. Nasta prayasu avadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Gradually we will diminish all kind of anarthas and we will get the pleasure, bliss. Just like while eating we are feeling satisfaction also, at the same time it reduces our hunger. Similarly, by bhakti doing, we will also feel bliss and will detach from the material object. Next, Havir spoke describing the different characteristics of first class, second class, third class devotee. One who offers prescribed worship with faith to the deity of Lord Vishnu but has no devotion for Vaishnava things related to Vishnu is a materialistic devotee. So this is very important. Who is a materialistic or third class devotee? He worships very nicely but do not understand the devotee. Do not, has no devotion for Vaishnavas, no respect for Vaishnavas. One who shows love for the Lord, friendship for the lost devotee, mercy for the ignorant, indifferent for the enemy of Vishnu. The Vaishnava is an intermediate devotee. Intermediate devotee has 5 things. One who shows the love for the Lord, friendship for the lost devotee. 4 things. Mercy for the ignorant, indifferent to the enemies. So he is very good to other devotees also. Friendship to lost devotee. And he has a love for the Krishna also. And also merciful for the ignorant also. But he is not interested in the enemies of Vishnu. Envious, those who are envious, he is indifferent. That is second class devotee, preachers actually. And one who sees the presence of Supreme Lord in everything, sees everything within the Lord is topmost devotee. Topmost devotee means he will see everything in Krishna, Krishna in everything. First class devotee are described in 8 verses, which concluded by stating that first class devotee keeps the Supreme Lord perpetually fastened to his own heart with ropes of affection. Lord Hari never leaves the hearts of such a devotee. As Krishna say that sadhavu hudame mahyam sadhunam hudame tema. And they do not know anything. I am in the heart of the devotee. Devotee is also in my heart. They do not know anybody other than Krishna. Krishna also do not know anybody other than them. 9.468 Krishna also says. So these are the symptoms of first class devotee. Let us go through the little important verses. So here Sukadeva Goswami said, he got to engage in worship of Lord Krishna, who best of Kuru. Nārada Muni stayed for some time in Dwaraka, which was always protected by the arms of Govinda. This is a very important point, as I told you, that Nārada Muni never stay in one place, but because these places, it is stated in this purport by the Acharya. Acharya say that the conditioned soul are struggling within the kingdom of Maya against the cruel laws of material nature, such as birth, death, old age, disease. But if such conditioned soul have the good fortune to enter the city of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dwaraka, Mathura, Vrindavan, live there under the direct protection of omnipotent arms of Supreme Lord Krishna, they will experience unlimited transcendental bliss of real life, which is eternal, which is meant to be lived in the personal company of God. So therefore, it is recommended to stay in Dham actually. So Siddhar Swami has spoken that there is no influence of Dwaraka, there is no influence of cause or other such evils, because Dwaraka is the abode of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is always protected by his arms, shown by the word Govinda Bhujaguptayam. So these places like Dwaraka and Mathura and Vrindavan, they are all, protected by the Supreme Lord arms. Therefore, there is no influence of evils and anything caused. Although Nārada Muni was caused by Dakya, still he can stay in Dwaraka for longer time. The cause never, exert his influence. My dear king, in the material world, conditioned soul are confronted and death at every step of life. Therefore, who among the conditioned soul would not render service to the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda, who is worshipable even for the greatest liberated soul? Very important verses, 11.2.2. So in the material world, every day, ahani bhutani gachantiya jamalayam. Every day we see the newspaper obituary, somebody is dying, every moment. So who will not render service to the lotus feet of the Lord? Because that is the only solution to stop this repeated birth and death. Konva rajan indriyani mukunda charanana bhaja na bhaja sarvatra muttu. Sarvatra muttu means if you go to also other planetary planets, also there is Brahma Bhuvanala Loko Punaravartina Arjuna. Every planets, other planets also, there is birth, death, disease, old age. Therefore, who will not worship Krishna's lotus feet? Because Krishna lotus feet is the solution to stop this obnoxious repeated birth and death, particularly death. One day the sage among demigods Nārada came to the house of Vasudeva. After worshipping Nārada with suitable paraphernalia, seating him comfortably, respectfully bowing down to him, Vasudeva spoke as follows. Vasudeva said, "My lord, your visit, like that of a father to his children, is for the benefit of all living beings. You specially help the most wretched among them, as well as those who are advanced on the path toward the Supreme Lord Uttama Sloka." A very important point. Here Vasudeva saying, Nārada Muni, why you are visiting? Because visiting to enlighten the conditioned soul. See, therefore, just like Prabhupada did not visit to America for a sightseeing. Sightseeing, no. Although America is full of panoramic views, panoramic scene, but Prabhupada did not went for that, did not go for that. Prabhupada went to enlighten, revive their existential status as the eternal servant of Krishna, to enlighten the conditioned soul. That is the idea. Therefore, the great soul, they do not travel because of their own selfish interest. They travel, or they go to other house, grihasthas particularly, to enlighten them, to reclaim their conditional life. That is how magnanimous they are. The same Vasudeva also spoke to the same Vasudeva, son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's another father. He spoke to the Garga Muni. A very nice verse, very, very beautiful verse. He spoke that very nice verse. Mahad vichalam ninnam grihinam dina chetasam nishrayasya bhagavana kalpate nanyetta kuchit. Very important verse. Oh my Lord, a great devotee person like you move from one place to another, not their own interest, but for the sake of poor-hearted grihastha householder. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another. How magnanimous. So they are all philanthropic souls. They go from one place to another place to reclaim the conditioned soul. There is another talk between Vidura and Maitra. He says that Janasya Krishnat Vimukhasya Daivat Adharmasilasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahaya Charanti Nunna Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. Beautiful verses. Oh my Lord, great philanthropic soul, travel on the earth on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead, to show compassion to the fallen soul, who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. To show the compassion to the fallen soul, who are averse to the lotus feet of the or sense of subordination to the Lord. For them, the great soul, they travel. So here also, Vasudeva, the king of the father of Krishna, is very same thing speaking, that Nārada Muni, you are coming to us, our house, not for your self-interest, but to teach us. The activities of demigod lead to both misery and happiness for living beings. But the activities of great saints like you, who have accepted infallible Lord as their very soul, result only happiness of all beings. That is very, very important point. The difference between the great devotee, pure devotee, and demigods. How pure devotees is so exalted. Here it is stated that the activities of demigod both misery and happiness for living being, because according to their karma, they get it. But the activities of great saints like you, who have accepted, sometimes the demigod curses, sometimes demigod blesses. When demigod blesses, one is happy. When demigod blesses, one is miserable. But activities of great saints is always happy. They never curse. They never, their activities, their association is never brings out misery. Even though sometimes apparently it seems that they have cursed, just like Nārada Muni, cursed Nalakubera, Manigriva, but for what purpose? For their ultimate benefit. For their ultimate benefit. They become liberated, go back to Godhead. They got the love of Godhead. Nalakubera and Manigriva. Therefore, our Satyavarta Muni is praying very nice Namadurashtakam in 7th verse. Kuberatma jau badha murte bayad bad toya mochitau bhakti bhajo kutauta tatha prema bhaktim sokam me prayacha namokhyam graha mesti damodara. He is telling, I want that prema bhakti, what you have conferred what you have given to Nala Kubera and Manikruba, the son of Kuberas. See, because of Nārada Muni, son of Kubera, has received a love of Godhead with the highest award, highest reward, So therefore, the activities and association of pure devotees is better than demigods. It always brings about happiness. Superior to even to the demigod, living entity empowered by Supreme Lord to. So, if you do not please the demigods, then you will be suffer. But here for devotees, always their activity is always glorious. Those who worship demigod receive reciprocation from the demigod in a way just corresponding to the offering. The demigods are attendant of karma like a person's shadow, but sadhus are actually merciful to the fallen. This is the difference between demigods. Demigods, according to karma, as you worship, you will get some material benefit. But devotees, sadhus, are very merciful, causelessly merciful, causeless. That's like Prabhupada. Prabhupada, what is his duty? 60, at the fag age of the 65, 69, he went to America. Most of them, they at this age, they love to be with their grandchildren. As a sadhu, he was very happy, very comfortable position in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, engage in the service, engage in devotional service, preaching. But he undertook trial, tribulations, troubles to go to America in a freighter. In a freighter means cargo ship, undergoing 2 heart attacks. What for? Vaishnavas are called Para Dukkha Dukhi. They are very compassionate. Vancha Kalpatru Vyasya Kurpa Sindhu, ocean of mercy, Kurpa Sindhu Vaivata. Patitanam Pavanavya Vaishnavya Namo Namo. They are very merciful. Sadhus are very, very important verses spoken by the Vasudeva to Nārada. So many beautiful verses, purport, very nice purport by all the acharyas. Oh Brahmana, although I am satisfied simply by seeing you, I still wish to inquire about the duty which gives pleasure to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any mortal who faithfully hears about them is free from all kinds of fears. So whole our duty which gives pleasure to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhakti means which is satisfying Krishna. That is bhakti, which is satisfying ourselves. That is not bhakti. Arjuna declined to fight because the fight was not palatable for him, because his opponents were his relatives, kith and kins. So he declined to fight. But Krishna was explaining Bhagavad Gita. Whole Bhagavad, the essence of Bhagavad Gita in the preface Prabhupada has written that essence of Bhagavad Gita to satisfy Krishna's desire, to satisfy Krishna. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. But Arjuna is satisfying himself. We praying to Krishna to make our plan yes or approved by Krishna. That is not bhakti. We should pray to Krishna so that we will be strengthened. We will be strong enough to say yes to plan of Krishna. So we have to dovetail our plan with the Krishna's plan. That is bhakti. Arjuna in the initially could not understand this. After being enlightened by Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, Karisya Vachanatava, Nasto Moha Smutil Labda, Tat Prasadena Maya Chitta. Sritosmi Gata Sandhya, Karisya Vachanatava. That is bhakti. Bhakti means how to satisfy Krishna. Bhakti. That is real bhakti. Satisfaction of Krishna is called bhakti. That is stated in these beautiful verses. In very nice verses. This verse usually quoted by Tattva Prabhu. What is bhakti? Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called bhakti yoga. Transcendental loving service to the Lord. What is called knowledge become a concomitant fact. Bhakti means satisfaction. Satisfaction of the Lord. That is bhakti. There are, let's see, there's another verses also in this regard, I think. That is very nice verse, 1535. There are another one verses also there. Satisfaction of the Lord is called bhakti. So here it is saying that, therefore the inquiry is, I want to inquire those duties which give pleasure to Supreme Personality of God. Wonderful question. That is the real question actually. Our human form of life is meant for inquiring this kind of question, not to inquiring about the market report, Bollywood report, cricket report, IPL report. No. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Inquiring about the Brahman, inquiring about this kind of question. What is the duty that gives pleasure to the Supreme Lord? That should be our inquiry. Pariprasana sevaya. Pranipatena pariprasana sevaya. So you should approach a spiritual master, inquiry all the things. You should approach a senior, approach what is bhāgavata-dharma. What activities that give pleasure to Krishna. In a previous birth on this earth, I worship Supreme Lord Ananta, who alone can award liberation. But because I desired to have a child, I did not worship him for liberation. Thus, I was bewildered by Lord's illusory energy. See, everybody wants some benediction, but real benediction is to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada say that. Not that you bring the Krishna, you become my, my son, my, order supplier, Prabhupada say. You become my order supplier, I want this, I want this. This is not bhakti. Bhakti means to engage in the service of the Lord. Or at least you can say that I want to go back to Godhead means engage eternally as a servant of yours. That is our constitutional position, existential status. Correct existential status, actual existential status. So nice words to remember, so nice things to be learned and apply in life. My dear Lord, you are always true to your vow. Please instruct me clearly that by your mercy I may easily free myself from material existence, which is full of many danger and keep us constantly bound in fear. See, material existence is always full of many danger. Who is speaking? This father of Krishna himself saying that this material existence is full of many danger, keep us constantly bound in fear. What to speak out ordinary? We don't care. Oh, we don't care. We don't care material existence. We don't care for Maya. We don't care for material existence. We are happy. We can challenge. We can withstand. We can bear. All this kind of things is completely presumptuous. Sri Sukadev Rajan. See, very nice. See, Sukadev Goswami say that Rajan evam kritra pasnam Vasudeva nadhimata. O King, Devotee Nārada was, Sukadev Goswami said, O King, Devotee Nārada was pleased by the inquiry of highly intelligent Vasudeva, because it suggested the transcendental quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It reminded Nārada of Lord Krishna. Thus Nārada replied to Vasudeva as follows. The questions are very important, not unnecessary question. The correct question related to Krishna's. Therefore, in the purport also it is stated that Nārada Muni say that, "O best of the Sattvatas, you have quite correctly asked about the eternal duty of living entity towards Supreme Lord. What is the eternal duty of living being towards Supreme Lord? Such devotional service to the Lord is so potent that its performance can purify the entire universe." The question also very important. This kind of question is very nice. Sukadeva Goswami also, when Parikshit Maharaj was questioned at the time of death, what is our duty? Sukadeva Goswami appreciate the question. Sutta Goswami also appreciate the question when the sages are asking about the sixth question about what is the essence of all dharma, what is the ultimate good for the people in general. So he was very much appreciating. Oh, these questions related to Krishna is very much relevance to the world's welfare. Lokamangalam. Nārada Muni also appreciate the question of Vasudeva. What is the prime duty of living entity towards Krishna? Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually potent. Simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting the glories in response, by meditating on it, by respectfully, faithfully accepting it, by praising the devotional service of others, even person who had the demigods and all other living beings can be immediately purified. See how devotional service is so potent. Bhāgavata-dharma, spiritually powerful Bhāgavata-dharma. Today you have made me to remember my Lord, the Supreme Blissful Personality of Godhead Narayana. Supreme Lord is so auspicious that whoever hears and chant about him become completely pious. Here also same thing, Sinvatam Sokatha Krishna. Here also he said that Smarita Bhagavan Adya Deva Narayana Namaha. Said that Punya Sravana Kirtana. Toya Parama Kalyana Punya Sravana Kirtana. By hearing Krishna Katha is Punya, one becomes pious. Because unless one becomes pious, free from all kind of infection, dirty things, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, machara, one cannot go back to Godhead. One cannot approach Krishna. Krishna say, antagatam tumma, or that antava, desante antagatam papam, jananam punya karmanam, tidanda mohonirmuktam, jayantimam. Krishna say, Bhagavad Gita, a person who is free from all the things, who is pious, they can approach me with determination. How to become pious? Prabhupada in a lecture of this 828, Prabhupada say that to become a pious means to hear Krishna Katha and to chant Krishna Katha. That is the process of becoming pious. Then we can approach. We are not hearing where prerequisite itself is, we are disqualified from the very prerequisite stage without hearing. To explain the devotional service of the Lord, sages have related an ancient history of conversation between great soul King Vidya, son of Rishabha. So, Nārada Muni, to answer this, he has explained one of the ancient history between the conversation between Nimi Mahārāja and Yogendras. Nimi Mahārāja is the king of Vidya and Yogendras is the son of Rishabha. Swayambhavu Manu had son named Maharaj Priyavarta. Among Priyavarta's son was Agnidhar. From Agnidhar was son Navi, and whose son was known as Rishabhadev. And Rishabhadev accepted as an expansion of Supreme Lord Vasudeva. He incarnated in this world to propagate those religious principles that lead living entity to ultimate liberation. He had 100 sons, all perfect in Vedic knowledge. Rishabhadev is incarnation. Canto 5 is all the instruction of Canto 5, we can see 551. All the things Rishabhadev Uvacha, the Supreme Lord Rishabhadev is speaking to his sons, instructing all the sons about the ultimate liberation. Of the 100 sons of Lord Rishabhadev, the eldest is Bharat, was completely devoted to the Lord Narayana. It is because Bharata's fame that this planet is now celebrated as Great Bharatavarsha. So the Bharatavarsha is after the King Bharata. King Bharata is rejected this material world, considering all type of material pleasure temporary and useless. Leaving his beautiful young wife, family, worshipped Lord Hari by severe austerity, attending the abode of the Lord after 3 lifetimes. Bharat Maharaj is very, very opulent. At the young age, he gave up all his wife, opulent children. He went to ashram and did execute devotional service. In 3 lifetimes, he went back to Godhead. 9 of the remaining sons of Visvambhar become the rulers of 9 island Bharatavarsha. They exercise complete sovereignty over this planet. 81 sons become twice born Brahmana, helped initiate Vedic path of fruitive sacrifice karma kanda. So these are the sons of Visvambhar. The 9 remaining sons of Visvambhar were greatly fortunate, says, who worked vigorously to spread the knowledge of absolute truth. They wandered about naked and were very well versed in spiritual practice. Their names were Kavi, Havis, Antariksha, Prabhuda, Pipala, and Avihotra, Dhrumila, Chamasa, Karabhadana. The 9 sons are very exalted sages, just like Kumaras. These sages wandered the earth, seeing the entire universe with all its gross subtle object as a manifestation of Supreme Lord, as non-different from the self. They are pure devotees. They don't see difference between this and that. They know everything is a part and parcel of the Lord. Everything is the energy of the Lord. Everything emanates from the Lord. The 9 Yogendras, liberated soul who travel freely to planet of the demigod, perfect mystics, sadhyas, heavenly musician, Akhya, human being, minor demigod, such as Kinnaras and the serpent. No mundane force can check their free movement. Exactly as they wish, they can travel as well as the world, as well to the world of the sages. Angels, the ghostly follow Lord Shiva, the Vidyartha, the Brahman, and the cows. They can travel everywhere. So they're so powerful. Once in Ajanava, the former name of the earth, they came upon the sacrificial performance of great soul Mahārāja Nimi, which was being carried out under the direction of elevated sage. So king was doing this sacrifice ceremony. My dear king, sing those pure devotees of the Lord who rival the sun in brilliance. Everyone present, performer of sacrifice, brahmanas, even the sacrificial fire, stood in respect. This is the effulgence, the power, the influence of the pure devotees. King Nimi understood that 9 sages were exalted devotees of Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, overjoyed at their auspicious arrival, he offered them the suitable sitting place and worshipped them in a proper way, just as one would worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is very important thing, this one. So this is very important. Jasya prasada sakhyad haritenas samasta shastra. All shastra say that the devotees are pure devotees are non-different. Krishna also say that madhavakta pujyadika, even worship of my devotee is more than me. Lord Shiva also says tadyanam archana samarchanam. Worshipping of Vishnu is highest, higher than that to worshipping the devotee of the Lord. One time Prabhupada went to one house and this householder, they were doing puja. Prabhupada came, he did not respect. He did not even stop everything. He did not come to welcome. Prabhupada left this place. Then Prabhupada, everybody say, why now? This is not the proper etiquette. Here the proper etiquette, King Nimi, he was doing fire sacrifice with all the sages are there also. They are also good sages. So still, by seeing the pure devotee Yogendra, 9 sages, son of Visvambhar, they were all stood up and they have offered seat and proper etiquette. See, that is the proper way of receiving. Not that I am doing something, oh, let him stop, I am worshipping Krishna. Why should I take care of the devotee? No, devotees is the first important. Madhavakta pujyadika. Pure devotee should be first, foremost. Therefore, our seva should start with this spiritual master in an ascending order, not a descending order. Our knowledge should receive through a descending order. Seva should go through first spiritual master, Nitai, Gaura, Krishna, Radha Krishna, Jagannath, Baldev, Narasimha. Start with the all spiritual master and the predecessor Acharya. So this is the proper etiquette. Overwhelmed by the transcendental joy, the king humbly bowed his head and they proceeded to question 9 sages. These 9 great souls glowed with their own effulgence, thus appeared equal to the 4 Kumara, the son of Lord Brahma. They were very effulgent like son of Brahma. King Vidya said, I think you must be direct associate of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is famous as the enemy of demon Madhu. Indeed, pure devotee of the Lord Vishnu wanders throughout the universe, not for the personal selfish interest, but to purify all the conditioned soul. Again, this point, see, Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam, Pavaniya Charantihi. Same thing. Anugrahami, Anugrahaya Charanti. Vishnur Bhutani Lokanam, Pavanya Charanti. So all this Bhutani means devotees of the Lord. They travel not for their self-interest, but to purify conditioned soul. Very good point. Very nice word. Dullabha manusya deha dehinam khyana bhangura. Tatrapi dullabham manya vaikuntha priyadarshanam. For the conditioned soul, the human body is most difficult to achieve. It can be lost any moment. But I think even those who have achieved human life rarely gain the association of pure devotee, who are dear to Lord of Vaikuntha. Beautiful person. Very rare. Human life is very rare. After 8.4 million species of transmigrating from 8.4 million species of life, one get the human birth. It is very, very rarely accepted. After so many trillions of years, one achieve the human life. And in human life, to get associated with pure devotee, it is very, very rare. Very, very rare. Treasure. Therefore, it is stated that Guru Krishna Kurpa Pava Bhakti Latavi. এইভাবে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভ্রমিত কোন ভাগ্যবান, any fortunate soul, after rotating all this ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভ্রমিতে কোন ভাগ্যবান জীব, very rarely one is fortunate get the association of pure devotee. Atatenkhikhamam prichama bhavatangadas sansaresmin khanadvapi sasanga sevadinenam. Very important verses quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. Therefore, O completely sinless ones, I ask you to kindly tell me what supreme good is. After all, even a half a moment association with pure devotee within this world of birth and death, the priceless treasure forever. It's like a key. You get a key, you just open the door and come back. You are in a jail, somebody will give you a key. That is the half a moment also you associate with the devotees, pure devotee, that will give you the how to unlock, how to get out from this material existence. Just like Nārada Muni, how by little association, how Prabhupada and all this American beefeater, by association with Prabhupada, they became a devotee of the Lord, and they were so much, ecstasy, dancing, chanting, reading, how they were empowered. How fortunate, how perfection they got. Please speak about how one engage in devotional service of Supreme Lord if you consider me capable of properly hearing these topics. When living entity offers loving service to the Supreme Lord, Lord is immediately satisfied. See, the question which is asked by the Nārada Muni, Vasudeva to Nārada Muni, that how to satisfy prime devotee of living entity towards Supreme Lord, what kind of duty that will satisfy, what kind of activity that satisfy the Supreme Lord. Here it is said that devotional service. In return, he will give even his own self to this surrendered soul. Very important verses. He says that Dharman bhāgavatam mruta yadi na sruyate khyamam yahi prasanna prapanna. Prasanna means satisfied. Prapanna rasyati atmanam api yajaha. So, by devotional service, that is satisfying Lord. Lord is satisfied by devotional service. Very important verse. See, Nārada Upacha. Now Nārada Muni saying that O Vasudeva, when Mahārāja Nimi had thus inquired from Nine Yogendras about devotional service to the Lord, those best of saintly persons sincerely thanked the king for his question, spoke to him with affection in presence of member of sacrificial assembly and Brahmanas priest. Now who is speaking? One of the Nine Yogendras called Kavir. Kavir Upacha. Kabir say, I consider that whose intelligence is constantly disturbed by his falsely identifying himself with temporary material world can achieve real freedom from fear only by worshipping the lotus feet of infallible Supreme Lord. In such devotional service, all fear ceases entirely. From 33 onwards, he is speaking about the devotional service. That how fear is gone. He says that, oh my Lord, people of the world are embarrassed by all material anxiety. They are always afraid. They always try to protect wealth, body, friend. They are filled with lamentation, unlawful desire, paraphernalia. They are avariciously based their undertaking on the perishable conception of I and mine. As long as they do not take shelter of yourself, lotus feet, they are full of such anxiety. Beautiful verse 396. An ignorant living entity can very easily come to know the Supreme Lord if they adopt those means prescribed by Supreme Lord himself. The process recommended of the Lord is to be known as bhāgavata-dharma, devotional service to the Supreme Personality. Very important. Even a fool can get success because this bhāgavata-dharma is enacted or is given by the Lord himself. Bhāgavata-dharma is so confidential that it is spoken by the Lord himself. The essence of Bhagavad-dharma is given in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna personally instructs Arjuna. Yet in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord will give the instruction to Uddhava that surpass even the teaching given to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. It's more profound. Uddhava Gita is more profound, more detailing. As Srila Prabhupada stated, undoubtedly Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord on the battlefield of Kurukshetra just to encourage Arjuna to fight. Yet to complete the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Lord instructed Uddhava. The Lord wanted Uddhava to fulfill his mission and disseminate knowledge which he had not spoken even in Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, it is understood that the knowledge that will be presented here by the Nine Yogendras is not their personal concussion, but is authorized knowledge originally spoken by the Lord himself. According to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, the living entity in the course of their wandering throughout the cycle of birth and death lose all the trace of personality of Godhead, but when they hear the eternally auspicious topics spoken by the Supreme Lord for their benefit and understand their eternal identity as spirit soul, they realize the experience of being an eternal servant of Krishna become the basis of Bhagavad Dharma. In the soul's experience as a pure Vaishnava, a servant of God, no consideration of being different from God and the same as God, nor is one interested in the kingdom of material sense gratification. Pure devotee simply perceives his particular devotional service to the Supreme Lord, sees himself. So this is the thing, Bhagavad Dharma. O King, one who accepts this process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead will never blunder on this path in this world. Even while running with eyes closed, he will never trip. That is the beauty or potency. Even the person blindly, according to Srila Sridhar Goswami, the word agya easily, which is used in the previous verse, is explained in this verse. It says the agya padin sukattabam vibunnati. By the word agya, the case of performing bhakti yoga is established. The ease of performing bhakti yoga is established. This will be elaborated in present verses. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, pratyavagamam dharmyam susukam kartum abhyam. So Bhagavad Gita is very happily because it consists of Shravanam Kirtanam. Simply here chanting glories and glories of the Lord can attend philosophical lecture on the transcendental knowledge given by authorized Acharya. Simply by sitting one can learn, then one can eat the remnant of food offered to the God. Nice palatable dishes. In every state, devotional service joyful. One can execute devotional service even in the most poverty-stricken condition. Lord say patram pushpam phalam toyam, ready to accept. Therefore, even a poor can become perfect by following this. Essential point to understand here is when a living entity surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he tells the Lord, my dear, although I am most sinful, unqualified, for so long I have been trying to forget you. Now I am taking shelter at your lotus feet. From this day on, I am yours. Whatever I possess, my body, mind, word, family, riches, I am now offering at your lotus feet. Please do with me as you like. Supreme Lord Krishna has repeatedly given assurance in Bhagavad Gita, will protect and redeem such a surrender living entity, bringing him back to Godhead for an eternal life of Lord's own kingdom. See how is very nice purport by Sridhar Swami and Bhaktivedanta Saraswati. How devotional service is so potent. In accordance with particular nature, one has acquired conditioned life. Whatever one does with body, mind, sense, intelligence, purified consciousness, one should offer to Supreme Lord. This is for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. This is a very nice verse. He say that in this verse, Kayena vacha manusam manasa indriya bha buddhyatmana manusrita svabha bhavat karoti yat yat sakalam parasmai narayana iti samaprayate. Everything whatever you do, yat karosi yadasnasi yajjosi dadase tat kurusam adarpanam. You do for the satisfaction of the Lord. That is bhakti. Nicely explained by the Kavir to Nimi Maharaj. There is a very important verse that Prabhupada quoted. Bhayam ditya vinivesita syad isad apitasya viparaya smriti tan manyata buddha vijettam bhakte khayam guru devatma. So here very nice Prabhupada always quoted that fear arises when a living entity misidentify himself as a material body because of absorption in external illusory energy of the Lord. A living entity thus turns away from Supreme Lord. He also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency for illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipful deity and his very life and soul. That is the solution. The solution is the process is that that we turn away from the Lord, then we forgot our identity of the Lord, our relationship with the Lord, under the illusion. Just like a madman forget what he is. So similarly, we forgot. As a result, we are suffering, rotating in the cycle of birth and death. So therefore, one should engage in the devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Then then we can easily go back to God. Otherwise, one can get out from this Maya. Because we cannot directly approach Krishna. Jasya prasada bhagavat prasada. Through the Krishna, through this devotee. Only we can approach. So the next verse is that although the duality of material world does not ultimately exist, the conditioned soul experience it is real under the influence of his own what is that? Under the influence of although the duality of material world does not ultimately exist, the conditioned soul experience it as a real under the influence of his own conditions intelligent. This imaginary experience of the world separate from Krishna can be compared to the act of dreaming and desiring. When conditioned soul dreams at night something desirable or horrible, or when he daydreams what he would like to have or avoid, he creates reality that has no existence because beyond his own imagination. The tendency of mind is to accept and reject various activity based on the sense gratification. Therefore, an intelligent person should control his mind, restricting it from the illusion of seeing things separate from Krishna. When the mind is thus controlled, he will experience actual fearlessness. Very nice, very technical thing. Just like we are dreaming. In a dream, sometimes we think desirable thing. Sometimes we are thinking something acceptable. So horrible things. So this is how mind is rejecting, mind is accepting. But everything on the basis of sense gratification. If something is very nice, we are accepting. Something is very wrong, something is very not good, we are rejecting. So the duality is there. As long as, but there is no duality. Everything belongs to Krishna. Our duality means we have forgetfulness of Krishna's or forgetfulness of the Krishna's energy, Krishna's relationship with all material objects. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everything should be engaged in the service of Krishna. That can be done when the mind duality can be controlled. A mind can be controlled. Then no more fearlessness. I am thinking fearful. This is not fearful. That is also accepted. The next verse is that an intelligent person who has controlled his mind, conquered fears, to give up the attachment to material objects, just such as objects such as wife, family, nation should wander freely uh, without embarrassment. Hearing chanting the holy name of the Lord, the bearer of the chariot wheel, the holy names of Krishna are all auspicious because they describe his transcendental birth activity which he performs within his world souls, within the world for the salvation of the conditioned soul. So the holy name of the Lord are sung throughout the world. Holy name forms activity, that is important thing. Therefore, those who have controlled mind and fearlessness, they go on chanting, hearing about the Krishna name. That's very important verses 11 to 40. By chanting the holy name of Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord. He gradually becomes very much attached to a particular name, form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings, dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion. So this is the effect of chanting. Cheta darpana marjana mahabhāgavata-dharma. Slowly, the all Sikhyastakam is a progressive effect of chanting. Finally, he will come to Nainam Galada Asrudharaya Badanam Gadagadarudhaya Puleke Nischintam Bapukada Tavanam Grani. Jugaitam Nimishena Chakkusa Pravasaitam Sunaita Jagata Sarvam Govinda Virahana. Ashlisya Bapadaratam Pinastu Ardasanan Mahata Karutva Jatha Tatha Vijata Tulampuna Mata Prananatatu Soivanapara. So these are the symptoms of bhakti. It is a culminate. The chanting will progressively culminate to the point of these symptoms, pure love of Godhead. So how the bhakti always begins with this chanting, and it will culminate to the points of pure love of Godhead, where the ecstatic emotion will be manifested. A devotee should not see anything being separate from Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Ether, air, fire, water, earth, sun, other luminaries, all living beings, direction, trees, other planets, the rivers, ocean, whatever a devotee experience, he should consider to be an expansion of Krishna. Seeing everything that exists within the creation of the body of Supreme Lord, Hari, devotee should offer his sincere respect to the entire expansion of the Lord. See, why it is said that Pandita Samadarshina? Because they see everything is a part and parcel of the Lord. Samah sarva bhutesu madavakti lavata. They see everything. And see everything in God, God in everything. Everything is expansion. Mai tatam idam sarvam jagata bhaktamutina. Krishna says, I expanded myself. Everywhere I am. Ekupyaso rachaitam jagadanda koti khittir asti jagadanda chayandantandantarasta paramanu chanta govinda madhi. Is all providing. Ham sarvasya prabhava matah sarvam pravatati iti mutva vadante maam buddha bhavasanam vida. The devotee, they know everything is an energy of the Lord. Everything is the part and parcel. Everything is the coming from the Lord. If something you thinking that there is no relationship with Lord, that we are in illusion. See, Srila Jiva Goswami has given a very nice thing. Srila Jiva Goswami has said that because of greedy person's obsession with money, wherever he goes is an opportunity for acquiring wealth. Similarly, very lusty person notices women everywhere. In the same way, the pure devotee should see the transcendental form of the Lord within everything, since everything is in the is an expansion of the Lord. It is our practical experience that greedy men will see. So this is the thing that everything is the expansion of the Lord, not the Lord. Dog is not God, but inside dog is a part and parcel. Mamavansa jiva loko jiva bhutta sanatana. And Lord is also situated in the heart of the dog. Not that dog is God, stool is God. No. God is everywhere, but everything is not God. Mai tatam idam sarvam jagata bhakta matina matastani sarva nacha tam avastita. I am not there. Just like king, the influence of king is there in entire kingdom, but king is not everywhere. Devotion, direct experience. This is very important verse. Prabhupada quoted many times. Bhakti paresanubhav virakti anartha chaisa trika ek kalaha. Devotion, direct experience of Supreme Lord, detachment from the other thing. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The same way that pleasure, nourishment, relief, hunger come simultaneously, increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. So this is this symptom. Prabhupada say that I have got a fever, but my body is no temperature. So everybody can claim I have got bhakti. But symptoms of bhakti means bhakti paresanubhav virakti. There is detachment. If there is no detachment, the bhakti, then it is cheating, is lying. So bhakti means automatically the detachment will come. Vasudeva bhagavati bhakti yoga prayata janati asu vairagya jnanam chahitukam. The detachment knowledge will automatically come. That is the symptoms of bhakti. The symptoms of one attaining bhakti. Just like we are eating. By eating, what we do, it will come nourishment, pleasure. Also, our hunger will diminish. Relief from the hunger. So this is the symptoms of bhakti, not that everybody can claim, oh, I have got bhakti, I am devotee. My dear king, the devotee who worships the lotus feet of infallible personality of Godhead with constant endeavor, thus active, unflinching devotion, detachment, experience, knowledge of personality of Godhead. In this way, successful devotee of the Lord achieves supreme spiritual peace. See, here he is saying that get the knowledge, detachment, and devotion. Mahārāja Nimi said, now please tell me in a great details about the devotee of the Supreme Lord. What are the natural symptoms by which I can distinguish between the most advanced devotee, those on the middle level, those are the neophyte? What are the typical religious activity of a Vaishnava and how does he speak? Specially, please describe the symptoms and characteristics by which Vaishnava become dear to Supreme Personality of God. A very important question. Because here it says that devotees, but there are different classes of devotees. So he wants to know the different classes of devotees. In previous verse, he says that devotees are engaged in devotional service and with attention, they get the detachment and knowledge, and they get the spiritual peace, and they go back to Godhead. They diminish the fear. So many things have been given. But who are these devotees? Which is very dear. What is their characteristic? So to answer this another Havir, another one of the Nine Yogendras called Havir, he say that Sarva Bhuteshu paschate Bhagavat Bhagavan Atmanaha Bhutani Bhagavanti Atmani Esa Bhagavat Uttamaha. Who is the first class devotee? See, Havir said, most advanced devotee can see within everything soul of souls, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Understand that everything that exists is eternally situated within the Lord. So they know that. They can see. Because they are pure devotee. Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochana. They see everything in Godhead in everything. Chapter 6, Krishna also says that who sees everything in me and in everything, uh, uh, everything in me and me in everything, he is never lost to me. Even Rama Raya Ramananda says that Sthavara Jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti, sarvatra dekhe tara smriti. So he sees the pure devotee see everywhere the Krishna and everything in relation to the Krishna. And everything is situated within this law. So that is the symptoms of a pure devotee. Imam pasyanti sarvatra sarvam cha mai pasyanti tasyam na pranasami sacha naim pranasyanti. So this is the pure devotee. Therefore, Lord Shiva say, more than worshipping this Lord Shiva, Vishnu, worshipping his devotee is superior. So many nice verses in the purport given by Acharyas. Then what is the second class? Ishvara tad adhinesu balisesu dishwastu prema maitri kripapakya yat karoti cha madhyama. In intermediate or second class devotee called Madhyamadikari offer his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First thing. A sincere friend to all the devotees. Second. Show mercy to ignorant. Third. Fourth is who are innocent, disregard those who are envious of Supreme Personality of God. This is preacher. Preacher has to be discriminate in order to preach. So therefore, he is very compassionate. He is so respect to all these ignorant people and devotees also. So mercy to ignorant people, friend to all the devotees, and so love for the Lord. But he disregard who are envious because he has to discriminate. Otherwise, how can you preach? If we say that Mr. Tom, Dick, and Harry is also good, and devotee Hari, Nanda, Bhadra, all they are also good. He has to discriminate in order to preach. So they are called second class devotee. Third class devotee is given here. This is a big purport, very nice purport actually, given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. One should read all the things very thoroughly. Acharyam evharaya pujamya sadhaya na tad bhaktesu chanyasu savakta prakrata smita. So this is a very good verse. A devotee who faithfully engages in worship of deity in the temple but does not behave properly towards other devotee or people in general called prakata bhakta. Materialistic devotee is considered to be the lowest position. Materialistic, starting, he doesn't know how to respect to others also. He is thinking that God is there in temple worship deity. Then he doesn't care for any other thing. So very nicely given the purport, you can see more symptoms and more on this. Even while engaging his sense contact with their object, one who sees whole world as the energy of the Lord Vishnu is neither repelled nor elated, is indeed great among the devotees. Krishna also says Bhagavad Gita that who should not be elated in happiness or distress. Na sosuti na kankyati samaha sarva bhuteshu madavakti. Krishna also say in Bhagavad Gita also say. Pure devotees are not elated, not lament. Samaha sarva bhuteshu na sosuti na kankyati. Within the material world, one's material body is always subject to birth and decay. Similarly, life where prana is harassed by hunger, thirst, mind is always anxious. The intelligence hankers for that which cannot be obtained, and all of these senses are ultimately exhausted by the constant struggle in material nature. A person who is not bewildered by the inevitable misery of material existence, who remain aloof from them simply by remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is to be considered bhāgavata-dharma for most devotees. Just like Prabhupada. He was indifferent. He knows that there is problem in going to the America alone. He's penniless. He do not know whether to turn right and left. Intellectually foreign, culturally foreign to him. Intellectually, culturally. Still he went there because he's indifferent. His main thing how to serve the Supreme Lord, how to serve his Guru order. Guru order means Supreme Lord order. Serving lotus feet means serving Krishna. Serving the lotus feet of the Guru means serving the lotus feet of Yasya Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada. So, the example of pure devotee, even that he is indifferent to all kind of material inabilities, frailties, material problems. Just like Prabhupada, he had 2 heart attacks. Still he had a courage. He told, no, my mission is to preach. One who has taken exclusive shelter of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, become free from fruitive activities which are based on material loss. In fact, who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord is freed from even desire to enjoy material sense gratification, plans for enjoying sex life, social prestige, money cannot develop within his mind. Thus is considered bhāgavata-dharma, the pure devotee of the Lord on the highest platform. These are the characteristics of a pure devotee. He is not carried away by the material nature, by lust, greed, all the things. Higher position. The characteristic of pure devotee is very glorious, He is not under the Daiva Prakriti Asritam. Some Mahatma Sudullabha. Krishna say also. Krishna say, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daiva Prakriti Asritam. He under the divine energy. He is not influenced by the material energy. Birth in the aristocratic family, execution of austere pious activities certainly cause one to take pride in himself. Similarly, if one enjoys a prestigious position within society because his parents are highly respected members of Banasam social system, one becomes even more infatuated with himself. But if, despite this excellent material qualification, one does not feel even a tinge of pride within himself, he is to be considered the utmost servitor of Supreme Personality. The example also given Rupa Goswami, all the Sanatana Goswami, they are very aristocratic family. They are not proud. Pundarika, the associate of the Lord also, they were Raghunath Das Goswami, very high, but he was not proud. When a devotee gives up all selfish conception by which one thinks this is my property, that is his, when he is no longer concerned with the pleasure of his own material body or indifferent to the discomfort of others, he becomes fully peaceful, satisfied. He considers himself simply one among all the living entities who are equal part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such satisfied Vaishnava is considered to be at the highest standard of devotion. These are the characteristics of pure devotee, very, very exalted, very exalted. These characteristics are very glorious, very difficult, not so easy. One has to practice, and automatically all these characteristics will manifest. Lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead are sought even by the greatest demigods, such as Brahma Shiva, who have all accepted Supreme Personality of Godhead as their life and soul. A pure devotee of the Lord can never forget those lotus feet in any circumstance. He will not give up his shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord for a single moment. Indeed, not for half a moment. Even in exchange of benediction of ruling, enjoying opulence and entire universe. Such devotee of the Lord is to be considered best of Vaishnava. See this Prahlad Maharaj. Bhatasur also is very nicely speaking. Prahlad Maharaj is that I should not forget it. So they have never even half a moment then forget the lotus feet of the Lord. Even they have been given offered, Prahlad Maharaj was offered. He told, I do not want all this benediction. I want that to serve your lotus feet. How can the fire of material suffering continue to burn the heart of those who worship Supreme Lord? The Lord's lotus feet have performed innumerable heroic deeds, and the beautiful nails on his toes resemble valuable jewels. Effulgence emanating from those nails resemble cooling moonshine, for it instantly relieves the suffering within the heart for the pure devotees, within the heart of the pure devotee, just as the appearance of the moon's cooling light relieves the burning heart of the sun. Just like moon arises means is cooling, like similarly, this pure devotee heart where Lord resides, always cooling. They are not agitated. Supreme Personality of God is so kind to the conditioned soul that if they call upon him by speaking his holy name, even unintentionally, unwillingly, the Lord is inclined to destroy innumerable sinful reaction in their heart. Therefore, when a devotee who has taken shelter of the Lord, so to speak, chant the holy name of Krishna with genuine love, the Lord can never give up the heart of such devotee. One who has thus bound the Supreme Lord's lotus feet within his heart, the ropes of love is to be known as bhāgavata-dharma, the most exalted. So by chanting, one can easily attract the Lord. And atra kirtibi sususribi tatakhanat. He say that kimba paririshwara sadda hudasya avaruddhate atra kirti. By chanting and hearing, one can bring the lotus feet. One can capture the lotus feet of the Lord. And when lotus feet is captured, Lord is captured in the heart. then heart will, the burning of material miseries, like a scorching sun, cannot influence, cannot impact anything, cannot have any effect. They are like cooling as moon. In this regard also there is a beautiful verse, Aho Aho Vir. Here also, Ive Eta Etan Nirbiddamanam Ichatam Akuta Bham Joginam Nirpanenitam Hare Namanukirtanam. O King, constant chanting of holy name of the Lord after the wage of great authority is the doubtless fearless way for success for all, including those who are free from all material desire, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. See, this is the end of the things, end of this Nimi Maharaj. So before that, I will show you one verse regarding this, how it is cooling, one who captured the Lord in the heart. Aho Aho Vir. The beautiful verses is there. Sorry. Not from Bhagavatam. It says that Aho Aho Vir Jasodanandan. Aho Aho Vir. So this verse is there, very nice verse. I'll find out this verse. Aho Aho Vir. This is not from the Aho Aho Vir Jasoda Tanaya. So very beautiful verses. Yes. So this verses is spoken by the it is spoken in Padyavali by Rupa Goswami. I forget the number. Padyavali we cannot take out, but maybe it is there. Yes. Aho Aho Vir na kaler vidyute sudha sudhara madhuram pade pade dine dine chandana chandra sitalam jasoda tanaya sagyate. One who daily sings the glories of Jasoda's son Krishna, which are as cooling as sandalwood and camphor, not troubled by the days of Kali. For him, every step there is a torrential flow of sweetest nectar. It's the same thing, that who has captured the Lord in the heart, for him is as cooling as. So we will end this one. So to summarize this, so Maharaj, second chapter, Mahārāja Nimi meets the Yogendra. So summarize this. Initially it is Vasudeva glorifies the Nārada Muni, and Nārada Muni came to Dwaraka, and he was meeting the Vasudeva. Vasudeva glorifying the Nārada Muni, asking about the, inquiring about the bhāgavata-dharma, the eternal duty of the living entities. Nārada Muni glorified the bhāgavata-dharma, pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord, and he has quoted some, he is explaining to Vasudeva a history of Yogendra meeting the Nimi Maharaj, the king of Vidheya. Actually, Nimi Maharaj is a son of Ikṣvāku Maharaj, who Krishna say that he spoke the Vivāsan, Bhagavad Gita. Vivāsan son is Manu, Manu's son is Ikṣvāku. Ikṣvāku's son is Nimi Maharaj. Then history, then King, the Nimi Maharaj says that the best prime duty for living entity to satisfy the Supreme Lord by devotional service. So in the glories of devotional, pure devotional service, the highest welfare for all living beings. And he explained that this is the supreme process. Even a fool who do not know, he will get the perfection. Even anybody who adopt this process, which is personally given by the Lord, with blindfolded, he cannot fall. He cannot stumble. So that is the potency of, by this process of devotional service, the fear which is arises when we turn away from the Lord, that will diminish. Not only fear, but also it will, all our material existence will be stopped. and we can capture the Lord in the heart. We can go back to Godhead. We can cross this material existence by this process, devotional service. And again, the Nimi Maharaj is asking, who are the devotees? What is their characteristic? So he said that three kind of devotees are there. To answer this, another Navajogendra, one of the Navajogendra, 9 sages, called Havir, he replied that there are three kind of devotees. First class devotee sees everything in me, everything in relationship with me. They are first class devotee. Second class devotee, he is devoted to me. He is friendship to my devotee. And he is very merciful to ignorant. He preaches them. But he is envious to non-devotee. Because the preaching now they have to discriminate. Third class devotee, he worships the temple. He is thinking that Krishna is everywhere, but he is thinking that Krishna is in deity form. He does not care for any other living entity. He doesn't care for the devotees also. He is thinking Krishna is only in deity form. He doesn't know that Krishna is all pervading. That is called third class devotee. Then, it characteristic of first class devotee, the lust, anger, cannot influence. Loss, greed, all the material thing cannot influence. And the pure devotee will always remember Krishna, all circumstances. He won't be so elated, he won't be so disturbed by the material happiness, distress, material trials, tribulations. He is fixed. He is always chanting the name of the Lord and capturing the Lord's lotus feet. Therefore, although material existence seems to be sansara davan, only the scorching sun, boisterous sun, but he is thinking that he is feeling, because of he captured the lotus feet of the Lord in the heart, he is thinking it is cool as moon arises, the cooling effect. And by chanting this process, he is feeling very blissful and indifferent and oblivion to all these material things. Therefore, bhāgavata-dharma is the highest process, the best process, superior process for all the living entities in order to satisfy the Lord himself. So thank you very much. We will continue with third chapter in the next session. Antarashtrayan Bhagavatam ki jai, Uddhava Gita ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Bol, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.